Alfred P.S. Hayes is back again, this time referring to a match as interesting rather than intriguing, I assume to not offend anyone that has any idea what he was talking about earlier on, but gets interrupted by the fabulous Moolah, who kisses him on the mouth, much to his disdain. "Good gracious," he shouts, with the look of shock on his face, only for Leilani Kai to kiss him on the cheek, to which he says, "Or good luck." He continues to talk about the significance of this match with regards to the rock and wrestling connection, which is something that does actually need to be touched on for context. A few years prior to this event, Captain Lou Albano was sat on an airplane and happened to be sat next to Cyndi Lauper, and they became friends. Albano ended up involved in her work against the disease multiple sclerosis, or MS for short, after he tragically lost a relative to the disease. As time wore on, Lauper needed an actor to play the role of the father in the music video for Girls Just Want to Have Fun, a role which Albano was hesitant to take but was encouraged by his wife to try. With this, Lauper would appear on WWF TV with Albano, only for him to degrade her, and women in general, leading to a match by proxy where they would both vote a wrestler to participate on their behalf. Lauper chose popular women's wrestler Wendy Richter as her representative in the match, and Albano picked the fabulous Moolah. This was a part of the war to settle the scorecard I spoke about earlier that was broadcast on MTV. During the match, Lauper would whack Moolah in the head with her purse, which was loaded and later named the Loaded Purse of Doom, and Richter walked away with the WWF Women's title, a belt that the WWF claimed Moolah had held for the past 28 years. A sort of correct claim, as she won the NWA title in 1956 and never lost it, and they incorporated that as part of her total reign as WWF champion. Simply put, there's no feasible way she could have held the title for 28 years at that point, for the simple fact that it wasn't even called the WWF for that period of time. It was still Vince McMahon Sr. in control of the New York territory at the time. Nevertheless, later on that year, Albano would welcome Lauper to the ring and give her an award for her charitable work, only for Rowdy Roddy Piper and Cowboy Bob Orton to come out, play the bad guys to perfection, and smash the award over Albano's head. This then really starts to build towards the storylines taking place at WrestleMania. But to take it to the start of the story again, without Albano happening to sit next to Cyndi Lauper on a random plane journey one day, it's entirely possible that there would have been far less celebrity involvement in WrestleMania. Many of the storylines would have been different because of this, and MTV wouldn't have broadcast those two specials on the WWF's behalf in the process, meaning the WWF would have had far less coverage leading up to the event than they ended up getting. WrestleMania stands a chance of looking a whole lot different without that one meeting on the airplane, and given the impact that the event had in the WWF and pro wrestling in general, it might be true this meeting was integral to the future development of pro wrestling, as the WWF/E has since been the standard bearer in pro wrestling. It's quite a lot to say that pro wrestling was saved by Cyndi Lauper and an airplane captain, but the amount of things that have springboarded off that one meeting alone is absolutely colossal. Anyway, I've probably burned your ears off by now, so let's get back to the action.